Three.
Oh.
Three.
Thank you. I want to welcome everybody. This is really important night for me because if you knew how much work Dick Frederick and I did on this thing over the last 9 months, to be able to say that it's ready and it's going to be played, and it's going to be expertly played, not by me but by Bobby Milkey, expertly played, we're going to leave the lid up so you won't need your hearing aids turned on. Oh, talking about turning on, if you got a cell phone, it might be a good idea to switch it off so that we can play. I should take the advice myself. Wouldn't that be a good thing to do? If you're interested in the work that was done to get this thing to go, all the construction, destruction, I've got it in a book. And I'll pass it around. There are photos of every phase of the construction over a period of 9 months. And if I hadn't had a piano builder like Dick Frederick, this never would have happened because there were too many unknowns. You can't get an Erard owner's manual like you can on your mixer or your blender. Sorry, there isn't any. You can't go to the Erard parts catalog. There isn't any, because this piano was made 130 years ago. So we used the discovery process. We worked a little while and we said, well, how does that come apart? I don't know. And we wrestled with it a while, and that's not working. Maybe some idea will come tomorrow. Tomorrow we think about it, and at one point I had to actually cut it apart with a saw, because you couldn't get at this end of the bar because the bar was between two big planks of wood screwed down into the bottom one. The builders never intended for this piano to be overhauled, or they would have given us some way to do that. The fact that it had to be sawed up told me, and there are just so many things different. One, you'll notice it's parallel strung. Modern piano, the bass strings cross over. And they did that for a reason, so that they can make the tail round. This tail is square, necessitating 3 joints in the case, in the rim. Modern piano, by putting that spring crossways, allows you to have a rounded tail and a rounded part here. And modern pianos, this rim is made out of one piece of laminated wood. And they steam it and they put it in forms and they bend it, and it ends up being one piece. But Erard, the company, built harps before they built pianos. And they felt that a piano should be built like a harp. The strings should be parallel. This way the long string is vibrating over the long part of the sounding board, and the short strings are vibrating over the short part of the soundboard. Or if you cross the strings over, it's vibrating in different places on the soundboard, and they say that it confuses the soundboard. You don't get the distinct, unique sound. And this thing, one thing it's got down here, it's got a bass sound that I think supports that argument. So it's got a huge bass, it's got a very light touch. It just tinkles up here. It just sounds so sweet. Bobby's already played it enough. She said, I feel comfortable with it. The touch is very light. It's a great piano for especially French music, because it's a French piano. But French, German composers, Liszt played this piano like this. Paderewski played one like this. The story goes that Beethoven had one toward the end of his Bach. Nah, he came too early for that. Anyway, I'm going to just do a couple of tunes. I'm like the warm-up. Opening, I'm the opening. Yes, I'm the opening. And we're going to leave the lid up, and well, I'm really nervous. We'll see if this works out. tell. That it's got a really, really great sound. And part of the problem Dick and I had over the last 9 months, we knew we wanted it to sound like it was originally 130 years ago, but we don't know what that sound was. So you're building toward an objective that can't be defined. But we thought if we maintained every tradition, every quirk in its construction, maintained every wire length exactly, every wire thickness exactly, put all the ribs back together exactly, that we would come up with, as close as possible, the original sound of the piano. And of course I spend a lot of time. It's a great adult hobby. It doesn't ruin your hip joints. It doesn't ruin your knee joints. It's a great adult hobby. You don't have to go to physical therapy. And once you got your piano paid for, it's pretty cheap. The name of that one?
Angel Eyes.
All right. All right. Okay, two's enough. Are you ready?
Do you want to tell them how you got the piano?
Oh, good story. Good story. It involves Norm Brown. We've known each other and some others folks here through a Thursday afternoon get together, have a beer and some snack fruit. But he's in the horse business, which is fine. You know. If that's your thing, do it. He's in the horse business, but he also likes music, and he has a lady friend on the west side of Longmont that was also in the horse business and had to leave and move to New Mexico. So she had a big sale, and Norm bought tack and buckets and things that horse people have to have. And he told me, "Come on down, she's got a piano for sale." Well, I've already got a nice Steinway, so what do I want with another piano? I said, "No, Norm, thank you very much. No, I'm happy." He called the next week. "Dan, you better go down and have a look at this piano. You know, the prices keeps going down." I said, "No, I've got one." About the third time, I hated to hurt his feelings. I said, "Okay, Norm, stop by and I'll ride down with you." And I thought, well, they lifted the garage door up and this was inside. And I couldn't believe what I saw. It was just an incredible piano in terms of its size and unique shape. And this lady was desperate. She says, "If you'll take it, I'll give it to you." So I thought, the price is right. And besides, on the way home, we're going by the landfill. So if I don't feel comfortable with the piano, it's just shove it off the trailer and go on home. And I didn't realize that the piano was of great value and one of the premier pianos of the 19th century. until I got home and spent days on the internet looking up Erard pianos for sale, Erard pianos being reconstructed. And I called Dick Frederick, who's, well, I'm 80 the 1st of June, he'll be 80 next week, so you got two octogenarians working on a piano that's 130 years old. He was fascinated. I thought he would say, no way. But he would look at this and, well, I never saw that before. Wow, look at that, I never. And he was just taken with it. This is a challenge to put this thing back into functioning condition. And fortunately, he's a smart guy, very deductive. If this doesn't work, let's try something else. And this is the product. And I wish he was here, but he just doesn't like crowds. I said, Dick, come on, you take a bow, take a round of applause of all the work you did. Well, no, you have fun. So anyway, that's the story. But Dick's a great piano builder. If you want a piano built, he's your guy. So that's the story. Okay, Bobby, we're waiting for Bobby.